Hey Karen, not the Karen that you think. I'm talking to Karen Coy right now. It's her birthday today, and I heard she's 30, and I thought, what a great time to show you guys something kind of fun and sweet and wicked, stupid, simple, smart, and super fun for any homemaker out there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something I call Dutch Nachos, and I've been doing these for a while. First, you just need whatever berries. Wish I had some kiwi, because kiwi's the green in this recipe, but you know what, there's bigger things going on, so we're gonna work with what we got, because that's what we're doing as a homemaker. But it's just fun. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make these Dutch nachos. And the first thing we're gonna do is I've got some heavy whipping cream, right? And I'm putting about a half a cup, because I have about half a cup of chocolate chips here. And yeah, almost approximately that. It actually says, well, no, yeah, about half a cup. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna nuke this for just a couple seconds, right? We're probably just gonna do about 30 seconds, just so it's bubbling. And what we're really doing here is we're doing chocolate ganache. And what chocolate ganache is just heavy whipping cream, melting the chocolate, and using the residual heat. And you can do different levels of thickness. So when you got about half and half, it's gonna end up real thick, real dense, almost like a chocolate truffle. Less chocolate, the smoother, the saucier, all that. And you can also stop the hardening process with butter, which we're gonna do, or a little bit more cream. I'm gonna give this a couple more. Maybe this does need like maybe about 30 more seconds. And all we want this to do is be hot. So it's almost like steaming. We don't want it boiling or anything like that. And the second part of this, which is really cool, is these Dutch crisps that obviously I get from Van's Pastry. You know how I feel about those guys. And this recipe is over 100 years old. John Vandermeer's grandfather brought them over from the Netherlands over 100 years ago. They're phenomenal. They're perfect on their own. I have no idea how they make them. I just know they're delicious. But on their own, there's this perfect crunchy cookie that you could legitimately have with a cup of coffee in the morning, or you could do something really fun with them. I've layered them, almost like doing banana pudding and vanilla wafers with them. I do this thing called Dutch Nachos, which I'm gonna share with you right now, which I love. So I've got the half a cup of heavy whipping cream, right? And I'm just gonna get a teaspoon because it's such a small batch. And I'm gonna add in, I'm using Ghirardelli's double chocolate or 60% cacao chocolate chips, just because I just think they're the best. You know, semi-sweet is amplified with these bad boys, and you can see it's like, oh, it's not doing too much. But as you can see, is as you get going, it really starts to look like that perfect chocolate commercial. And it just takes time, and it's gonna happen. And you just keep stirring it. And let me tell you a little bit about our friends at Coy's across the street. We love them ever since they moved in. And they've just been, you know, that type of neighbor that you're so proud to have. And since it's their birthday, I'm just gonna talk about, you know, the fact that they've loaned out their house on many occasions with the Fitzgeralds, whether it was a wedding or a funeral or both. And that's kind of what you do, is you kind of, you know, you buy the neighborhood, you don't buy the house. And that's why Emily and I got this house, is, well, I was a bachelor beforehand, but I wanted to live with the people that are in my neighborhood. You know, we have an amazing, diverse, fun neighborhood. And we're all different ages, and we're all different demographics, but we're all love. So look at that. And that is like a perfect consistency. But what's gonna happen is as it cools down, it's gonna harden up a little bit. So then what I'm gonna do is, you know, I love my Irish butter. I'm gonna add just about about a tablespoon of butter. And what you can do is this is almost like you can make this a flourless chocolate cake. You could seriously take a graham cracker crust, line it with your favorite preserves, and pour this in there, and there is your chocolate flourless cake. And I'm just adding enough butter just to give it a little sheen and to keep the chocolate malleable. You know, so instead of it firming up almost like a thick, rich candy bar that's slightly melty, this is actually going to make it like even creamier and more delicious. And I think that's what butter does for our lives in general. And so I've got a great plate that, you know, don't care if I get it back or not, right here. And what I like to do is I like to use the cold of the plate to kind of sprinkle some of this stuff in here, because we want the nachos to stand up a little bit. And this is going to be kind of like glue. And you can see how thick and delicious this is becoming just with the coolness of the plate. You know, it looks like a war shack, you know, which is kind of fun. And now all I do is I'm gonna put these little nacho crisps, sometimes one or two in the center, help it. You know, just you're making nachos, you guys. You cannot screw this up, seriously. And that's one thing that I can't preach to you enough. If you're not messing around in the kitchen, you can't be a good homemaker. So how cool is this, right? We've got that, and now we've got all sorts of berries and whatnot, and I'm gonna put that right in top. So these strawberries, which are insane, I'm gonna save this huge one for the centerpiece. We do want to top the strawberries and give them a little bit of a dice, just so that there is the feeling of the nachos, like the strawberries will be like your tomato. And like I said, it's too bad we don't have kiwi, but you'd get the picture on how the kiwi would represent the green or the lettuce or the jalapenos or the nacho, which is cool. And notice, like, really 2 strawberries is gonna kill this and make it look awesome for the first layer, because nachos that are single layered are not nachos, they're called tostadas. So I've got that, which is pretty cool. And then I'm gonna sprinkle in a couple blackberries, right, which are pretty cool, which could almost remind you of like a black olive perhaps. Raspberries that are so delicious right now. We're so lucky with these fresh fruits. Kind of give you a reminiscent of just the salsa possibly. Blueberries there, again giving some color and depth. And then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a couple more layers here. So I think these are like $7. I've got maybe $2 in chocolate and probably about a $2, well, say even $5 in berries. Say $15 all day. This recipe would easily accommodate 10 people for $2 a person, right? And see how I'm just kind of giving it like that leafy pattern, right? So it's kind of built up like those nachos. And don't worry, this, our strawberry, I think I've showed you this before, but I'm just cutting it almost all the way off up to just, you'll feel the resistance of the top part of the strawberry, right? We're gonna smush this bad boy like this. That's pretty cool, so that's gonna be awesome. Now then, we're gonna really go to town on the chocolate now, because gravity is gonna dictate that this is all gonna be sticking together, so delicious. And I'm going right down to the center now, which is, it's so fun. And you know what? we really haven't done many sweets, and it's because I really love chocolate work, and I'll start doing some more of that. And it's really easy when you have like a killer, recipe that's been going around for 100 years to work with as the foundation. So I'm just kind of throwing the raspberries around, now the blackberries, a couple here, a couple there, nothing too crazy. We'll save some for Ainsley. And then I gotta have some blueberries in there too. And then what I usually do is I just kind of pull this out a little bit so everybody knows that he's got a little bit of chocolate. And I hear Karen's 30 today, which is awesome. I don't have the 0, but we can just do the 3 times 10 right there. And I'm gonna prop that up with the raspberry right there. And look at that. That just happened, you guys. Look at me. I'm all messy here. I'm gonna tidy this up just a little bit for you so you can think that I'm a real type guy. But again, thank you so much for being in our home. Thank you for being a part of Karen Coy's 30th birthday. The Fitzgerald family loves you guys, and we definitely love our neighbors, the Coys. And you know what? Just please, I know we got some bad news today that we're gonna have to endure this a little bit longer, but let's err on the side of safety for everybody's sake, and we're just gonna, we'll be fine after this. We had the opportunity to create the new normal. So happy birthday, Karen. We love you so much and everything you do. And we love Van's Pastry, and we love you, and be safe, you guys, okay? And I'll talk to you before you know it, all right? Remember, if you're not getting messy in the kitchen, you can't be a homemaker. So, mess it up. Talk to you soon.